Okay, welcome to the track guide for Hockenheimring for the fixed series for the Australian Sports Car Championship. Driving the BMW GT3, high downforce setup around the track. We're going to just do a bit of a walkthrough before we show a faster lap, and I'll just talk through some of the corners and how I approach them to try and get the quickest lap possible. Now we'll go through each corner in the lap, try and keep it brief but give you some good pointers. I'm just running the standard brake bias for the fast lap, but if I was in the race myself, I'd probably be down around the 49.5, 49.7 bias just to help the car rotate a bit better into corners. So important exit on the last corner to get a good run down the main straight here across the start finish line. We'd generally be up into fourth gear by turn one. This is a tricky corner. Can get up to fifth, but you're going to shift back to fourth. Turning is from on the curb here. Some braking early. Turn the car in, and it's important as you feel like you're getting to the apex here. You can run over the orange sausage curb on the inside there a little bit, but you want to be full throttle in fourth gear as you go through that apex there. Now this is a tricky one for off tracks because the fastest line or the fastest exit is to run out here on the blue and white curbs. But if you look ahead, you'll see a white line on the edge of the track. That's the track limit. So you want to be within there. So I tend to run out to the blue and white curbs, but I don't want to go any further than that or you'll get an off track. But that is maximum speed here, is to run out on the blue and white curb, merge back onto the track and carry all that momentum down towards turn number 2. Now this is it's an interesting little complex. The exit's really important, so you're going to be braking around the 125 mark is where I brake, around about here, just before the 100 board and that bitumen on the left. Most of your braking's done, peak brake pressure at about 75%. Back to first gear, not trail braking too much in because by about now you want to be on throttle and ideally full throttle as early as possible because it's a really long straight. To get full throttle, you can open up the steering a bit, come out to say to mid-track here is okay, and then second gear over this curb is okay. Just make sure you don't hit it too hard to upset the car. Running out wide, you can use that curb on the outside if you need, but I tend not to. Aiming for the left, we want to keep shortest distance around the track possible, so we're going to stick to the inside of the left here. Hopefully you've got a good exit out of that last section there, and this is probably one of the best chances for an overtake on the track. Coming down here in fifth, you'll be braking around the 150 board, so just before this little bitumen exit track here on the left. Maximum brake pressure again, trying to do most of your braking in a straight line. And now this is a proper hairpin, so the best way to take this is to get most of your braking done. We're going to be turning across here. Try not to clout this curb, it can upset the car. Fairly tight, got a lot of lock on, and then on power as early and smoothly as possible. You can run out to that sausage curb a bit. Don't go over it, you'll lose a lot of time and get it off track. Next corner here is straightforward. You'll be in fourth gear on the curb, full throttle. There's no reason to get off throttle here. Don't hit that curb, you probably want to miss that one. And you can probably stay in fourth. I'm braking about here, so about midway along the blue and white curb just to my right, just before this bitumen section of the track here. You seem to have to brake a bit earlier than you think you need to for this one. It's an important corner to get right because the left-hander here, you want to come down into second. Sometimes I use first if I need to slow the car and rotate more. But full throttle, watching for wheel spin here because you can get a bit sideways. Up to third gear, on the curb, off throttle, and then back on as you come over the curb here. Opening up the steering, running out wide, can hit the orange sausage curb there to get a good exit. And this I think is probably one of the most important corners of the track and probably one of the trickier ones to get right, and that is you have to wash off a bit of speed, carry quite a lot of entry speed into the apex while carrying brake lightly. Trick here is in the Lambo and the BMW, don't brake too hard on turn-in and don't downshift too early to third on turn-in because that will upset the rear of the car as you turn in. So when you watch the fast lap, you'll see that I'm in fourth gear. I'm applying a bit of brake to start slowing the car. So I'm just trail braking lightly into the apex, then back into third gear around about here, not too early. And then as you come over the apex, you can use the green AstroTurf on the inside if you like. You want to get on power to get a good exit out of this corner. You can run wide right out to the AstroTurf if you need to, but obviously be careful, you don't want to get onto that gravel and grass. So fourth gear, braking just before the 50 board, fairly heavy braking here, and then trail braking in to keep the car tight. So you've got the camber of the track on the inside here. Then trying to get onto full throttle fairly early, out to the blue and white curb. Can use the green AstroTurf, but the rear can get a bit loose, so just be careful. Coming across here, inside wheels on the green AstroTurf. We're missing that right curb there. You run out to that white curb, you've run out too wide, and you're going to compromise this section here. So what we want to do is be in third gear out to here, second gear to help the car rotate, trying to get to this apex. Light braking through there. I don't brake too heavily because it upsets the car. Then as we're turning in, off throttle, back on throttle, up to third gear to maximize the exit onto the straight. Can run out wide onto this curbing here, and that's a lap of the Hockenheimring. So few pointers there. Just really watch your exits, especially the exits on this track are really important because there's generally long straights and sections that require you get a lot of good exit speed to make the most of your lap time. So brake early if you have to, sacrifice your braking a little bit to make sure you really nail an exit. So yeah, stay tuned for a fast lap, and good luck.